Live from the happiest place in the Lone Star State. Welcome back to the Talking Mickey Project. TMP is your home for Disney fans of all abilities. Now, it's your host, Emma. Okay, Kevin. Well, we start out as usual with a click of the wrong button by me. Welcome, everybody.
I'm okay. I'm back one.
Welcome, everybody. I had it in sequence and then messed that one up. Welcome back. We got a fun show tonight, don't you?
And hello, Rachel Connector. You look familiar. Have I seen you on another line before?
Very good. Could be. Her? What does her mean? Welcome, Rachel. If you're here for the first time, we will pop you up a virtual first visit button there in the corner.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
They're
That's
not
right.
real.
They're just right. They're not real.
They're just for fun.
But you have a special guest, so let's get back to that. So who is your special guest tonight?
My special guest tonight is Mr. Kevin Riley from the Haunted Magnetic Click on Instagram.
There you go.
Yeah.
You were getting higher and higher pitched. I thought there was going to be something after that.
No.
Like a yay, like a Kermit yay or something. No? No Kermit yay. All right. Well, we have a guest to introduce. And then, but right before we do that, why don't you show that we're going to be doing a giveaway so people can see it on the bigger screen.
Can you see it?
Try it that way.
Okay.
Where? Right here by the camera. All right. So we have we have this
a Haunted Mansion winner. We have two that Mr. Kevin Riley
That's right.
sent to us from the contact right on Instagram.
I believe so. It was quite a while back. But we have an extra. We have one for Emma on the wall back there as part of her collection.
Not for sale.
And not for sale.
This one is.
And this one's not for sale. This one's going to be given away. So stay tuned till the end of the interview. We've got a virtual giveaway. You'll have to be in the chat and enter a keyword to be eligible. So, it'll be instant giveaway. All right. That's enough of the advertising. All right. So you ready? Let's bring in Kevin.
Yeah.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bibbidi bobbidi. There he is. Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hello. The intro?
What? What do you think of the intro? Well, it could have been better if I'd have hit the right
perfect.
I apologize for my that incorrect.
Our production budget needs to go up so we can hire somebody that knows how to click a mouse. Yeah, you can.
I'm my no person.
All righty. Well, welcome here. Thank you for being here. Right? I'm saying all the stuff you're supposed to.
Sorry. Oh, and hello, BDF.
That's right. Big Disney fan.
I saw y'all last night on Mr. Walt live stream.
And?
Oh, hi, Grandma and Grandpa.
No, I was talking about Kevin.
Oh. I'm Mr. Kevin Riley.
This is like squirrel. Sorry. There's a squirrel over here, and Emma's going to, she's gone.
I'm kind of like Doug. Come up.
Yeah, not usually, but okay, we'll give you that. So tonight you have a bunch of questions. Are you going to ask them? Okay. So, Kevin, we got questions for you. We're going to put them up on the screen, and then we can see where all the questions go, right? Have some fun? All righty. Well, you take over.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, guys. Question number 1. There you go.
What is the Haunted Magnetic Breakfast, and where did the idea first came from?
Obviously, I've always been a huge fan of the Haunted Mansion and Halloween in general, just kind of raised on Halloween and spooky season. You know, my mom loved it. I've been big into it. And as we got our own house, me and my wife and kids, we started decorating for Halloween. Our neighborhood's kind of full of people that do it. And, we just had a lot of scattered decorations and things like that, but no like cohesive theme. And we've always been fans of Disney and going down there a lot. And we decided like, yeah, let's just do a little something here. And perusing one of my favorite websites, Pinterest, I saw somebody that made this like just dead and breakfast sign. It was just dead and breakfast. I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool. And I was dabbling in sign making. And I recently made a post, and basically it started with it. It all started with a sign, and ended up going with, of course, the famous Ravenscroft font, from Haunted Mansion. I went with Haunted Mansion Dead and Breakfast, which at that point was just a sign out there, and that was it. And we hung it out just for Halloween. And then next year we're like, all right, let's start to do this. And theme everything, kind of going Haunted Mansion. There's little scenes around like the Hatbox Ghost and things like that. And we used to have Nightmare Before Christmas mixed in. Now we got that stuff out for Halloween, and that's actually just for Christmas now. And now the sign stays out all year long. And the Instagram started about 3 years ago, because some people were like, do you ever put up pictures of how you make some of the stuff? Because we don't do a whole lot of store-bought decorations. We make a lot of our own stuff. And I fell into this whole community of fans, which I didn't realize were out there. And, the page is not just about the Halloween display anymore. It's just, the collectibles, the people that are out there. I'm a total t-shirt nut as well. And, finding all these people and companies and everything, and realize, oh, I'm not alone. But it started with a sign that went out just for Halloween, and now it's out year round. And on the occasion, I get a request through Instagram, or even people stop in front of the house asking if there's a room to stay in. We are not actually a bed and breakfast. I'm sorry to disappoint some people, but it's just a year-long Halloween display.
It's a business opportunity for the future.
Maybe when we retire.
That's right. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I noticed a lot of the stuff is homemade. So you make it yourself. You design it, make it yourself.
Yeah, I've had a few friends here and there that have different talents that have helped out with certain things, or even made certain things. If you see any of the signs, that's all stuff that I've done. All painted wood. So, but yeah, we do make a lot of stuff. And if there is anything store bought, it's usually not just placed out there. Even like, the skeletons, we love our skeletons. I haven't counted this year, but there's a lot. There's in the high double digits. Most of them even usually either get taken apart to pose them in different ways. Or of course we have our Headless Horseman. So his head's off. We usually paint them to give them more detail, more depth, things like that. So not too much is just placed out there.
So is the giant one new this year?
The giant one is new. It's very new. And so for any of you guys that haven't seen, this is the 12-foot skeleton that is sold at Home Depot. He has been added and lit. There's some pictures forthcoming on Instagram, probably either tonight or tomorrow. And even he has been painted a little bit and done some interesting lighting with it.
Do I have it right? It's just spelled out, right?
Yes. It is a long tag.
It's a long handle. That's right. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, y'all go out and follow Kevin's page, because it's going to have photos. Well, it's got photos now. It's going to have more soon. So, but yeah, all righty. So are you ready for question number 2?
Let's go.
Wait, the brand new thing that you put out, is that a blow up?
No, it's actually a metal framed skeleton. I was surprised to find this out once I got it open. It's actually got a metal frame inside of it, but it's basically about the same plastic that most of your plastic skeletons are out there. But very heavy duty. And then of course, electronics, they have actually LCD eyes. But no, it is not inflatable. We're not massive fans of inflatables out there. Nothing against anybody that does. It's just not our thing.
And we have a comment. Rachel's Adventure says, do you have a shop where we can purchase some items?
No, nothing I sell. However, I've been convinced to make signs for people. I've got a full-time job, and then I've got 2 kids and a house full of pets, and we love to travel. And then I also have a side hustle job, which has become more full-time than my full-time job. So but I could always be convinced to make a sign. This time of the year, though, is tough. So I'll tell you that every waking moment, I'm getting stuff ready for Halloween.
You have to plan ahead in the off season.
Yep.
All righty. Are you ready then for number 2?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was looking at Makel's comment.
Yeah, well, she was asking. All right. There you go. Number 2.
Among all of the attractions in the Disney parks, what makes the Haunted Mansion attraction so loved?
By me or by everybody?
So probably by everybody, huh? Because
By
you're a
everybody.
huge fan. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
So it's one of the more loved ones, I guess, in the whole park, attractions world.
Yeah, I mean, you have people that love it for all different reasons. I mean, I know me, it's that perfect combination of spooky and fun, and it makes light of the afterlife, makes light of it, without being disrespectful, and it's just fun, and it just hasn't lost its luster, even for the people that aren't like super fans like all of us here. Like, they still love going on it. It's just down there, and I know we're going to discuss that in a bit. Like, and people still line up for it. People still love it. And if you go there during Halloween, I mean, those lines just double and triple and everything. And there's also a lot of mystery around the Haunted Mansion. And is there a theme? Is there a storyline? And so there's a lot of mystery just around it in general. To begin with, and I mean real mystery, not like in what they wrote.
Yeah.
And people like that stuff. And what's really cool, and I know we're going to discuss this a little bit with the hat box, but I love that everywhere you go to the different Disney parks, it's a little bit different. And one of my favorite interesting things, and I didn't know this until recently, is when you go to Tokyo, it is not about the afterlife. The Mystic Manor there is actually about almost your Beauty and the Beast theme, where everything comes to life there, because the culture there treats death very differently and much more respect. So they rewrote the story completely for there.
Wow. Yeah, it's had to be adapted in various places, and it got scarier in Phantom Manor. We talked about it earlier this week. Huh? Wow. Well, that's pretty cool. Plus, we were watching Alex the Historian started a couple part series on the Haunted Mansion we watched the other day, and he talked about the fact that the whole thing with Rolly Crump being the Museum of the Weird was gonna go forward, and then when Walt passed away, the two Imagineers that were working on it basically said, Claude Coates and is it Ken Anderson? I'm trying to remember. Basically said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this. And then there was this tension between the funny and the scary. And there was a lot of drama behind the scenes. Plus, the building sat there for years with people wondering what's going on inside of that thing.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite, I think, facts that a lot of people don't know is that, Walt never got to see any of the Haunted Mansions. The building was made, ready to go, got sidetracked, and then later he passed, and then they said, okay, let's finish this.
One of the pieces I didn't realize on that, I think it was on that video or maybe just something else, was that the very first inklings of this thing started back in 1959. So it was like 10 years in the making.
Yeah,
which was really neat.
And it sat there for 10 years.
Huh? Yeah. Well, it sat there for like 6 years, but they started thinking about it way back when, right? But yeah, it was. I mean, there's a lot of history, and I think that's your next question, actually.
And that was the original Hot Box Boat one.
Okay, well, why don't you do this? Because maybe this leads into it. All right.
The history of the Haunted Mansion is fascinating.
There you go.
What
parts
of the history surprised you the most when you learned about them?
I think I already cheated here and kind of answered this leading up to it, and I'll throw an extra one into it. But it wasn't until a few years ago that I learned that Walt never got to see them. And he was super passionate about it. This was not like something that somebody else came up with, and he just but he never got to see it. It wasn't finished. The first one wasn't finished until after he passed, and then a couple years later, of course, Walt Disney World itself was opening. So he never got to see them, and he was extremely passionate about them. There's many great articles that talk about that. But the other one I would also say is that there really is no clear cut like storyline or theme to them, because there's so many. One part is that it was kind of started beforehand with Walt, and then put on pause, and then finished afterwards. And a lot of different Imagineers had their hands in it and worked on it at the same time. And again, like you mentioned earlier, with the spooky versus the funny, which way do we go? And I think it's probably one of my favorite parts too, is watching the conversations or arguments that pop up online about what is actually happening in the storyline. And everybody starts with, oh, well, I was told by this person, that works for Disney, and this is the story. I'm like, nobody knows. Nobody at Disney knows. And they get very heated conversations, and I just sit back there with popcorn and watch these things happen, because I know that there is no, written down story somewhere else that would have surfaced by now.
Well, one of the things that makes me think about is there's two stories. One is the thing with the I think you told me about this, I believe the other day, maybe when we were talking, was the candy apple, maybe with Bob Gurr, or maybe it was Jeff when we were talking. But it was basically like he used the candy apple to show how he could turn the Omnimovers for the other ride for the Journey into Inner Space, which eventually got used in Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
And the other one, which really kind of creeped me out years ago when I first heard, was the thing of when you're leaving the attic, is that you're supposed to be basically you're dying and falling into the graveyard. And I'm like, whoa, that does make sense, but that's weird.
That's my favorite of the stories. And I first heard that during a tour I did back in high school, which is going to lead to a question I believe you already have for me, which is, where I kind of really started getting fascinated with it.
Yeah.
And I was definitely teacher's pet that time. And I sat with that person, and he went with the story that he loved, which is that as you get to the mansion, you're alive and you're greeted. And if you notice that the ghosts don't pay any attention to you for the first half of the ride, they don't acknowledge you. They don't anything. And then after you flip around in the doom buggy and you go down backwards, which is supposed to represent, as you just mentioned, you dying, then you land in the graveyard. And now, the caretaker, or Silas, and his dog Bones are scared of you. And all the ghosts in the graveyard now are partying and paying attention to you, because you are now a ghost too.
So that part I hadn't heard. I didn't realize
my favorite of the stories. And wow, you know what? Cool. It works as you're going through the ride. So that's the one that I save, but I don't are definitely the true one. It's just the one I like.
Yeah. Have you heard that before?
I actually did not know the name of the caretaker and the dog's name, but thank you for telling us that.
Silas and Bones.
Yep.
So number 4 was going to be what's your earliest memory. So was that in high school?
Yeah. So my last family trip with like my mom, my brother, my sisters was in high school for me, which was a while ago. We won't go with the year. My mom paid for a art class / backstage tour, and I got to see all kinds of cool stuff. And one of the things they did is the teacher, or whatever you want to call them, took us on the Haunted Mansion, and leading up to it, teaching us about some of the animatronics and the way they did some of the, like Pepper's Ghost and things like that. And again, I totally went teacher's pet, sat with him on the Doom buggy, and he just, as we went through it, just showed me everything, but also talked about that story, which I had never heard before. And to be honest with you, up until then, as much as I love the Haunted Mansion, like I wasn't, a fanatic. And, so, and he just taught me all this stuff, and just learning all how things work and how to do things. And there's a storyline, and I absolutely fell in love with it from then on. It's always been one of my favorites. It didn't, start collecting or anything then. This was pre-internet and eBay and all that fun stuff. So
I know what you mean.
And then as I got my own family, me and my wife met, and literally months later we went to Disney World together. And now that's grown from, back then it was like once every couple of years. Now we go a couple times a year. And we do live in New Jersey. So yes, this is not something that we live down the road.
Yeah.
And we absolutely love it.
It's a commitment to a hobby and an interest. That's for sure.
Yep.
Well, I put this up earlier, but this is a comment Bridget had. That said, riding with you is super fun. It's like a VIP tour.
Well, Paul Green does it.
What?
Paul Green does it.
Oh, he does the narration, right?
And he can bear it now.
Oh, goodness gracious. Emma and her Paul Frees fascination. I tell you. Oh, gosh. All right.
I know he was married. I know he had a child.
Well, then you need to find out what happened to Junior Freeze, I guess. Find that one out. All right. Come on. Let's get back to your questions.
Right.
All right. Here's number 5.
Wait, we're
on number 5.
Yeah, we did on number 4. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Good.
Okay. Your haunted mansion fandom is a big part of your life.
Right.
How is it a regular part of your life?
So it is a big part. I will say though, as much as you know, that's what you guys definitely see a lot of. We're huge Disney fans in general. Much of this house is decorated, yes, with a lot of Haunted Mansion stuff, but there's a lot of also cool Disney stuff. A lot of we love vintage stuff. If you guys get down for the anniversary, you'll see they reintroduced a lot of stuff from the first year, which is really cool, and it was really hard not to bring a lot of it home. Especially since this last trip we backpacked it. We did not pack suitcases, so we had to limit ourselves. But Haunted Mansion, just again, the love is definitely there. Our house is decorated. You guys can even see right now the lights are going, and that the lights in the ceiling are not just for Halloween. We have them there all the time, and the signs now out there all the time. But the Instagram has really become something we love, and we meet lots of cool people. This past trip is the first time we really see that come to fruition. Like, we met a lot of our followers and friends. I hate to use the word followers, but friends, family, we had some fun. I brought down the little Gus's if any of you guys were following along, and I just said, hey, come find me. And that was not so I could give something away. I loved meeting, some of you guys that I met down. I don't know if any of you guys are here that, that did find me and claimed your Gus. We definitely met some new friends. And that was just a blast. So many people, we were only down there for 3 days, and, we got to meet people that we've talked to, through through our Instagram that have been following us, and we followed them. And I love that. The people are the people that or the things that we love most about that. I mean, heck, having love for Haunted Mansion is why Bridget introduced us.
Exactly.
So if it wasn't for that, I don't know if we would have met there. So I hope we would have, but I don't know.
That's cool.
So, but met some really, really cool people through it, and I'd say that's probably how it's the biggest part. Besides the Dead and Breakfast sign that stays out all year long, and every once in a while I get some people asking about it. So,
when we've done different podcasts and stuff in the past, where we've lived elsewhere, it seems like that community of people that had something in common with you became really close friends. So I can see where that would happen here too. Yeah, that's really cool. All right, are you ready for number 6? I think this is the one about the 50th, so it leads right into it, right?
Yeah. You recently went to the 50th at Melody Matthew. What was it like being there for the
anniversary? There you go.
That was one of our most amazing trips. It was something that was supposed to happen, and it was actually just going to be a part of a cruise we were going on. We actually should have been on a ship this week. Some things changed. The whole trip got canceled. And last minute I had an opportunity to whisk me and my wife down there. And it wasn't just about their anniversary. Is our 13th anniversary, wedding anniversary is actually coming up on Wednesday. And I wanted to do something. So just me and her went down. Like I said, with backpacks, we found cheap flights and got down there, and it was amazing. There was just so much excitement going on. The decor that they did was just over the top, but not too over the top. Absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite things is what they did with Spaceship Earth, which has always been one of my favorite, attractions there. So you have to see that in person. The videos don't do it justice. It's pretty cool. Went on Haunted Mansion twice. We attempted 3 times. However, in the middle of the day, it went down for the moment we walked up to it. So, and as crowded as some of the pictures made it look, it seemed like a lot of people were there to get some of the merchandise, and the rides were pretty easy to walk on and have a blast. And we didn't wait too long for too many rides, but we did, like I said, we did Epcot and we did Magic Kingdom, and it was just an absolute blast. And of course, I do love merchandise. We love to shop. The vintage stuff was pretty cool, and I hope anybody that's going in the next year and a half, that stuff is for sale the whole time. One of my favorite things I brought home was they did vintage, what's the word I'm looking for? They remade the map from the first year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that'll be framed and on the wall soon. It's still sitting in the package downstairs because we came home and just, Halloween. So
yeah. Oh man, yeah, you can kind of go crazy. We watched a lot of the live streams and stuff, and you could see things, but I can imagine that the lights, especially, there were some folks we watched that were just in awe of what they did with Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
And just some of the things that I didn't expect to be such a big deal were, and then sort of the other way around on the ones I thought would be a big deal. But just the stuff from the retro, because I remember going in probably the late 70s. So some of that stuff, the color schemes and all, look real familiar to me.
Oh yeah.
I wish they'd have brought back those red and yellow Mickey Mouse shopping bags. I've seen those. You remember those?
I've seen it.
I don't know if you're as old as me, but I remember.
I've seen pictures.
But that would be cool, even if they did them in some other, plastic or whatever. But that's what I remember as a kid. Everybody had those shopping bags. That would have been a cool thing too. But
the red one with the yellow Mickey.
With the yellow circle and the Mickey and Minnie on it. Yeah.
They read that back out of t-shirt.
Oh, they probably did. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then we have our wireframe. I think it was Mr. Walt wireframe.
Oh, maybe on Mouse Talk. Okay. Well, I think we are going to a question that is close to you, something you were hoping. So let's see what Mr. Kevin thinks. Go ahead, read the question.
I will hope.
Stay away from the chat. She always wants to read the chat. Go ahead.
I was hoping that the Hatbox of A.K.A. Hattie would be added to the WDW Walt Disney World Haunted Mansion for the 50th. Probably going to be 100.
Let's hope not.
But it doesn't look like it will be. Do you think they will ever add him to the Florida version?
That's probably one of the fun debates that are out there. I don't think so, because they do like to actually have most of their attractions, even if they're the same one in different parks, to have some differences. So for example, Hatbox Ghost California, you have, of course, they do the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. And then, the different ones around the world. You have Phantom Manor in Paris. You have Mystic Manor in Tokyo. So a lot of them are pretty different. I don't think so. But you know what? As soon as somebody says, I don't think so, they go and surprise us. It's also one of my favorite things to see when, you got these people that are, falling into love with, Haunted Mansion. And all of a sudden they go to Florida and they're like, wait a minute, where's the Hatbox Ghost? I love seeing that question pop up, like, oh, I didn't get to see him. He must have been down that day. I'm like, no, he never existed there. Plus, there's just even the mystery around Hatbox Ghosts in California, that he was there for a couple days when they opened, and then all of a sudden disappeared. And that's one of my favorite, arguments or conversations to read. Like, there was questions for a while, like, did it ever exist? Because we're talking about the late 60s, so you didn't have people with iPhones and cameras at the ready, and any cameras they had were filmed, so taking pictures inside places like that were near impossible. So there was a lot of argument on whether it actually ever existed, and even that, and it wasn't until I'm going blank on the year, but pretty much all considering the history, very recently did Hatbox Ghost
for the was it for the 50th of the of Haunted Mansion?
I think it was because.
So it was. That would have been 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that right? Yeah, I think so. Because we visited it a couple months later.
Because they announced it on April 10th, right?
Unless it was the 45th. I don't remember. But it was recent. You're right. And in the thing
or
that
2023.
Yeah.
April 10th, which was my birthday.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, I guess so.
2018, I announced it.
Could be. Well, one of the things that it's hard for me to remember, I have to keep reminding myself, is that they built a lot of the the animatronics, the decorations, everything, almost simultaneously, because they opened the mansion in Disneyland in '69. They opened the other one in '71. So it kind of, I guess, economy of scale. They built a
year apart.
So what we had heard, I don't know if it's true, was that the Haunted Mansion in Florida was like one of the first attractions finished, because they had everything sitting in a warehouse for a large degree. Have you heard the same thing? Or
heard the same thing? Again, one of my favorite things about the Haunted Mansion is there's just so much that's said, and you don't know what's right, what's wrong, what's true. But it wasn't until what was the show that debuted on Disney Plus when it first came out? About
behind the attraction, I think, or something like that.
No, it's when Disney Plus first launched. Was it Behind the Attraction?
Oh, I don't know.
But it was like a 6-part documentary. It was the first time they actually acknowledged anywhere, like book or documentary or anything, that Hatbox Ghost was there. He did not work the way they wanted to, so they just removed it and never said anything. It was so quickly into it that they just said, you know what, we don't need to acknowledge it. There's no fan base or anything like that to explain to. And then as the technology in the past couple of years, got better, like things that they're using on like Mind Train with the projected faces, they're finally able to make the appearance of his head switching from his body down to the hat box finally work the way that they had dreamed of.
Yeah,
it's the first time Disney really acknowledged it.
It was a neat effect, and that was probably one of the highlights of us going, was seeing that, because we were there when they had the Christmas overlay in November, I guess, of 2019, October, November. So we didn't get to see the original, so to speak, mansion.
Well, I like the hallway that they put on their head. It made him look cute.
He was festive for Christmas when we saw him. All righty. All right. Well, you got ready? Let's go on to the next question.
Number 9.
Number 8.
Oh.
So there you go.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You heard?
The 2 Imagineers that when the Haunted Mansion Crockett in Disneyland had different ideas for its theming. Do you like the scary part of the Haunted Mansion best, or the funny part?
Sorry, I got excited to answer that, and I started answering it before you asked it. The answer to this question is yes. I think my favorite part, and I think we've already mentioned it, is like how those two things come together.
Yeah.
And that's just my favorite part about that. Again, growing up, I grew up in a little farm town, and for the first many years that I lived there, like there was literally like a general store that had been there since the 1800s. So with a town like that, especially being, out here on the Northeast, which is, some of the oldest parts of the country, the amount of ghost stories that exist out here are through the roof. And my mom loved ghost stories. She would read them to us all the time. I will say it, we're not going to get into the whole debate of yes or no that exist, but we've seen things that can't be explained, especially out in that town. So I love the spooky stuff, but at the same time, I like to have fun. So it's definitely the combination of both of them together that does it for me.
I like scary ghost stories too.
You like scary and creepy and spooky.
Sometimes I can see spirits for a second.
Sometimes you see spirits for a second?
Yes, in the house.
You okay?
Yes, I think something crazy. I kind of...
Not in this house, I hope.
No, well, but maybe.
Maybe.
I actually watched stories about spirits who were what people in real life in haunted places.
You like stories about that? Okay. Well, a lot of people like paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
There's a radio show I like to listen to at night that talks about a lot of paranormal stuff.
Oh, that's the Coast to Coast one,
Coast to
right?
Coast. That's right.
With
Yeah.
what did they?
That's right. Well, various hosts, but
Oh.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's right. I started listening to that years ago, and occasionally they have some really interesting stories. So.
Question: what do you feel about aliens? I know I got talking this is part of the creepy stuff.
We're going down a rabbit hole now.
Yeah. What do you think about aliens? I don't know. Let's save that for another day.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll take us way down a rabbit hole.
Ooh, goodness gracious. All right. Well, let's go to this one.
Okay, number 9.
This one's fun.
Back on topic.
There you go.
Sorry to go down a rabbit hole. Anyway, the Haunted Mansion fans like to collect things. What Haunted Mansion collectibles are your favorite? Sorry, I had to look over because our camera went in the middle of the computer screen.
That's right.
Favorite. That's tough. I would say. I'd say probably one of my favorites, if I had to pick like a big part of the collection, would be the artwork. We have a lot of artwork that we've gotten, and we've actually even recently had to like start making decisions to buy the small postcard versions of them, just because we have so much artwork hanging around the house. And one of my favorites that I just recently got, we went down for Valentine's Day weekend just for a quick trip because it was the Festival of the Arts. And funny enough, I've been to almost every festival or party that they've ever offered, and I didn't realize until this year that we never went to Festival of the Arts. And as an somebody who as an artist, and also my daughter's getting into art, I was surprised we never went, and it didn't hit me till then. And also one of my favorite Disney artists that I follow is named Rob Kaz, and he was releasing something that was just coming out at the Festival of the Arts, and he only sells at Disney. You can't order it through his Instagram or his website or anything. And it was a great portrayal of the Florida, Haunted Mansion with Mickey and Pluto and stuff like that. And it's just a beautiful piece of art. And I got to meet him. I messaged him beforehand and said, hey, I really want to meet you. He signed it for me, but also I have a good friend who's getting married in front of the castle this November. Super excited for her. And she's a fellow Haunted Mansion nut. And she had seen this guy's art beforehand, and I was able to get a print from him for her too. And not only did he sign the back, but he drew Constance the bride for her, being the bride coming up. On the back of the not the actual artwork itself, but the what do you call it? The matting. So I got to meet him, and then it turns out he also grew up 40 minutes from where I grew up. So it's pretty cool. But the artwork, I'd say the artwork is probably some of my favorite because just there's so many different people that see the Haunted Mansion different ways, and you see ones that are more spooky, you see ones that are more fun, and then they're usually drawing maybe one of their favorite characters, and there is so many characters. There's usually a backstory for almost every character in there. Just the artwork always different. I mean, I've seen mashups, some of my favorite stuff too. I've seen tiki versions of the Hitchhiking Ghost. So artwork definitely is up there. Signs, which of course I love making my own signs, but also buying signs that are out there. Yeah.
She's gonna show you our Hatbox Tiki.
Kiki Hardy. Kiki Hardy.
I've successfully got both versions of those this past year.
Ooh, the other one's
that one I got a couple
find.
years ago, and then in April when I was down there, I met up with somebody who had the version with the face actually on the body.
Yeah, that one was hard to find and a little more expensive. Oh goodness! All right, are you ready for the next one? This is also in collecting, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
What is your Holy Grail collectible if you could add it to your collection?
So admittedly, for you guys listening in, before we got started, we ran through some of the questions here, and I'm so glad he showed me this one beforehand. because I literally jumped out of my chair and I said, give me a minute. We have 5 minutes. So you guys were joining us. I was like, because one of my holy grails of Haunted Mansion stuff, I just recently bought. And it's still in the box. It's still in the shipping box. And I was really excited. And I ran and found it because I wanted to be able to actually show you guys. So, early on, with Haunted Mansion, 69 through 71, now back then, of course, merchandising, buying souvenirs and things weren't like they are today. Today, it is just huge business. And there's a lot of stuff. Every time we go, we're bringing stuff home. It is very rare that we go and we don't bring something home. So back then it wasn't that big of a deal, but they had found these two artists, a guy named Randy and his wife Dottie, and they ended up creating a business called the Randotti business. And they made skulls and also gravestones. And they invited them to actually sell their products in Disney right out front of the Haunted Mansions, from a cart, because we did not have Memento Mori back then or anything like that.
Yeah. And
they sold them from a cart, and they were very, very cheap too. That was the great thing, is souvenirs back then didn't cost you an arm and a leg. And I always wanted one. And I was I have it as one of my saved searches on eBay, and just like any good collectible that's old, for the people that know what it is, they're going to charge for what it is. And all of a sudden one popped up, and they weren't selling it for very, very much. And it was labeled pretty cheap. Said there was some minor damage to it. I couldn't see it in the pictures. And if I can't see it in the pictures, and they're good pictures, I don't pay much attention. And was able to pick it up. So again, still in the shipping box here. So they used to sell gravestones, and you could actually have your name customized on it while you're waiting there. And funny enough, for any of us folks who are not, real young, we remember rub-on letters, and that's how they customized them back then. They used rub-on letters, put your name on it. Mm-hmm. And what's really cool is this one was made for Walt Disney World, and the year on the bottom is labeled 1970. So this was made, before. Disney World actually opened up. And what's really cool is I was able to talk to the person I bought this from, and he said his father actually bought it the first week they were open. So this was one of the early souvenirs that you could actually get. And I thought when I got it, I'd be taking the name off, but I was like, you know what? I decided I want to leave the name on there.
That's
but it's
cool.
Really, really cool. Just a little ceramic piece, as far as I know, or I can't remember what the name of the material actually is. But
you're right. At the bottom, it says in Walt Disney World.
Yep. And I don't know if you guys can see it. 1970 there.
Yeah, 1970.
Wait,
Yep.
did it get Emma?
Huh?
Did it get Emma?
Enterprise. Walt Disney Enterprises, I believe.
They were $1.95.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I would say 1995 at minimum.
$1.95 and customized while you waited.
Wow.
And now it's probably worth $100 or $300.
Oh, it's probably worth a good bit. Yeah. One of the things that it surprised me when you said that was the fact that they let outside vendors into Disney World, because I figured, I heard that about Disneyland. I didn't know Disney World actually did the same thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
They only stopped selling their stuff because the Randy had passed, I believe, in late 70s, and his wife didn't want to continue on. They also made skulls. They were just straight up skulls. I actually even have one of the skulls.
Ooh,
this was sold in Disney.
That's amazing.
It looks realistic.
It does look realistic, huh? That is cool.
Again, they were sold back. As far as like third party, for example, like most of the artists you would find on Main Street. I know you guys are big Disneyland nuts, but if you've been to Disney World, I know they definitely exist there.
Yeah.
There's some guys that usually do the silhouettes of the people. Oh, yeah. Those are actually third party artists as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. So, I kind of thought that, like you talked about the Festival of the Arts and all in Epcot, I thought maybe that was something that would be unusual, but it does seem like it's following a tradition of having those outside artists do things. Yeah. That's neat. That is really cool. Yeah. I didn't know that. All righty.
They could bring that back.
They should, huh?
About
that would be a cool thing.
And the graveyard name.
The tombstones?
It like can be like a special tribute to Mr. Randy to what he and his wife did back then.
That would have been cool if they'd have brought it back for the 50th, huh? Or something like that. That would have been something to acknowledge the history of those people that were doing that way back when.
Yeah.
A lot of people have memories, I'm sure, from that.
Interesting enough, the week that this arrived, and this was totally random, like just sitting on eBay one night, just kind of just looking through some of my common searches, and that popped up. I'm like, oh man, it's so cheap. And I ended up talking to the guy, and the week it arrived, Bob Gurr, which is I think probably most people's one of their favorite Imagineers, who's still alive and kicking today, did remakes of these and was selling a limited amount of them, and he would sign them instead of putting a customized name on it. He would actually sign it for you when you ordered one. And I thought that was real weird because I mean, you don't hear about the Randotti stuff talked about much except for in really small circles of the Haunted Mansion nuts or Disney nuts. So you just don't hear about it come up very often. I had to really research a little bit to find information about them and who they were and everything.
There you go. You learned something because we didn't know that before tonight.
That's 90, awesome. Right?
Bob Gurr, I think, I think he's 90, 91, something like that.
Something like that. And he was still alive down there walking around on October 1st on the 50th anniversary. He was seen all over Magic Kingdom and Epcot.
Oh, wow.
He's still kicking. And I know like 3 days before we got there, he was doing some kind of big, meet and greet in Orlando as well. So he's still going.
There you go. He's had a big influence over that company over the years, huh?
Yeah.
And especially the parks. All right. Well, we got 5 more questions. These are the fun. Would you rather pick this or that? Or what's your favorite question? But before we get there, I was going to remind everybody to hang around toward the end because we have one of these really cool lanyards that Kevin sent to Emma.
A free giveaway.
That's going to be a giveaway. We'll tell you how. You just have to put a certain keyword in the comments. So make sure you're here for the comments.
And make sure to click a hashtag and calculator for both weather. And no faking.
Okay. We'll get there in a second.
Oh, no. I make a reminder for everyone.
Well, you ready for number 11?
Yeah.
These are the fun questions. All right. Well, those were fun too, but these are more generic fun.
I liked them.
All right. So there you go.
If you could have a year supply of any Disney park snack, what would it be?
Oh man. Well, that's a tough one. I could make the argument for man, I'm just gonna have to go with Mickey bar. Mickey ice cream bar. I gotta have one every trip. However, depending on what mood I'm in, I might argue that a Mickey-shaped pretzel is also up there too. That's a hard one, but either one of those, I can hear my son in the background going, "Oh, Dad." He's across the room listening in, and I could hear him drooling over the Mickey-shaped snacks.
Oh, we got some of those, some of the Mickey, I guess the Mickey bars. It's on the ones that are on the stick. From the HEB here in Texas. They're just small and not quite the same.
Not quite the same. Made by the same company. That's about it.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. All right. What?
My year supply will either be chocolate or popcorn.
Oh, your favorite would be chocolate or popcorn?
With butter.
With
lots
butter.
Of melted butter.
So any kind of popcorn.
Melted butter popcorn.
Okay, there you go. All the popcorns. All right, number 12.
If you could live in any Disney resort hotel, including an era of what it was going to be for the final hotel or camera, which one would it be?
All right, if we were to exclude the new Galactic Star Cruiser that is not open yet, because that sounds pretty amazing. This is the easiest question you give me. It would be the Polynesian, hands down. It's a special place. That's where my family used to go. As far as my mother, brother, sisters, we used to love going there. And I just love islands in general. We love doing the Disney cruises and visiting all the different islands. And Polynesian just does it for me. Even when I go down there and I'm not staying there, I've got to visit there. Now, granted, they do have a tiki bar, so that is part of it. But we do love the Polynesian, everything about it.
There seems to be a crossover between the tiki and the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
It seems to be pretty common. I mean, we had the little mug, but I mean, it seems like there's more of that out there.
Having not a
I wonder what that is. You think it's maybe the same era of the 60s or the late
Yeah, it has a lot to
50s,
do with
maybe?
it. I mean, there was a lot of tiki influence, you know. Well, I mean, you got Adventureland there, which is all very, very tiki time period / you know, everything, you know, whether it's Jungle Cruise or the Enchanted Tiki Room. You know, you also just have Disney nostalgia there. And the ones that really stand out, the ones, well, let's be business-like too, and very, very marketable, you know. So, but yeah, it does it for me because I also just like those kinds of drinks.
Yeah. There you go. All right, you ready? What?
Apparently, from what I heard from Mr. Jeff when we did our interview a few days ago, he told me that apparently some radio stations used to do live content that people went to go stay at the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, he said in the past that they've had some local radio stations in Southern California that would give away chances to spend the night in that Haunted Mansion. So that would be kind of cool. I don't know if they would still do that, but that sounds like a fun thing. People might want to take some souvenirs more than they would years ago.
Probably not.
Right.
Private property.
Yes.
I'd have some new artwork. I'll just put
That's right.
I would read back the Haunted Mansion.
Okay. Well, here's
the Disneyland.
All right, girl, let's go. Number 13. This is the lucky number 13 question.
If you could build any Disney attraction in your backyard including era, which one would it be?
From any era, yeah.
Ooh. See, I'd have to go with something maybe I couldn't go down there and ride anymore. Yeah, I know most of you guys would probably just think I'd go for Haunted Mansion, right? Well, I've kind of got that going here. There's no ride, but you know, we've got that going. And I'm going down to Disney, you know, a decent amount, so I get to go on the rides I really like. There's one ride I really miss though, and that's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea from Walt Disney World.
Yep.
I love the ocean. I love being underwater. You know, I grew up in a family who used to teach scuba diving and stuff like that. So I remember that ride, and I remember why it's gone. I remember it being creaky and making noises. And I remember the last time we rode it, it was one of the ones that did have water coming into it.
Yeah.
But I loved that ride, and that would be fun to bring back, you know, to my backyard.
Yeah, I remember riding that one at least once, I guess, when I was a kid. But we saw recently that they're refurbing the one in California right now.
Oh, Nemo one.
Yeah, the Nemo version. Yeah. But yeah, that would be really cool because the design of it was really neat too. I mean, it's got that look that is unmistakable as to what it was. And the serpent and everything else in there was really cool.
Oh, apparently, I think a few years ago, Disney was selling the sea dragon from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah, it was at an auction, I think, wasn't it? The big sea serpent?
For $25,000.
Oh, I don't know. Don't know. Wow. But that would be tough to fit in your living room or your game room.
I would build the Haunted Mansion. Anyway, I would probably to come and stay there.
Okay. You would invite him as the 1,000th ghost? Okay.
I'll bet we invite the other one, including a lady who provides a voice of Mariota, including a lady who...
Oh, well. All of the Imagineers who are now gone?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you might need a bigger house. There was a few. All right. Here you go. Number 14.
Maybe Paul can let me go be Hattie.
Emma, would you please? You are chasing those squirrels. All right. Come on.
Okay. On topic now. If you could only visit one Disney theme park in the future, including in any era, which one would you choose?
Now, are we talking about like individual park, like Magic Kingdom versus Epcot, or are we talking about like any ones around the world?
All of them.
Any individual park around the world.
Including the Old American.
And I can only go to that one moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. That's Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World in Florida. That is my favorite thing. And if anybody ever asks me like, what's your favorite thing in Disney, most people would automatically jump to Haunted Mansion, which is what brought me here. But one of my favorite things ever is turning onto Main Street during Christmas. Love Christmas as much as I love Halloween, and Christmas in Disney is absolutely amazing. And they make it snow even in 90-degree weather, and you can smell all the treats everywhere. And if you're there for one of the Christmas parties, they're just handing treats out left and right, and all kinds of stuff. So I would have to go with Magic Kingdom. It's just that's the magic. That's the that's what draws us there every time. I mean, trust me, I'll be happy to go and go to Epcot and drink around the world, and I definitely enjoy doing that and eating all the food at Wine and Food Festival. But Christmas time, Magic Kingdom, there's nothing better. No.
All righty.
I will choose Animal Kingdom.
Oh, here we go. All right. Why?
As we all know, Animal Kingdom opened in 1998, which was the year I was born, including the same month, which is April. But
I'm going to put that
a wedding day over the next.
I'm going to put a banner up so we can just put that story up every time you get ready to tell it. Because you do it every time.
I feel like I've heard it before.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, here's the big wrap-up question. The toughie, but also it's always interesting what people think from their perspectives, right? So you ready? All right. This is the last question.
If you could ask Walt and Roy Disney one question right now, what will you ask them?
You added Roy in there, didn't you?
Back to some of the conversation earlier is, Walt never got to see any of the mansions. He never got to ride them. And, if you were back now, I mean, how many mansions do we have? We have, between mansions and manors and all those things, a couple of different ones. I don't know if I really want to know, like, what do you think? I think I have to narrow it down and say I want him to pick one. Which is your favorite? Which one do you like the most? Maybe which one, kind of, fit the bill of what his idea was, going on so early on.
That's a good question. Yeah.
So I'd make him pick one.
Yeah, there you go. Turn the tables. But that would be really interesting to see what he thought about it. What was the most important things? Yeah.
What about Roy?
Oh, what about Roy?
Oof. Roy. I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, you showed me this question the other day, and I had time to think about the Walt one. Now the Roy part of it. I thought I was going to go for either or here. You know what? I'd love to hear the differing opinions, because as much as they were alike, they were also very, very different people, and didn't always see things eye to eye. So maybe to hear the difference, maybe even possibly start an argument between them. I don't like to be argumentative, but I love to watch a good argument. I like to start them.
So you get the popcorn and you watch.
If you guys ever follow me while I'm traveling, one of my favorite arguments to start is, in Epcot, do you go and start in Mexico, or do you like to start in Canada?
Always Mexico. Man,
people get very passionate about that conversation.
Which way do you go?
We got to start in Mexico.
Okay, yeah.
Or
Mexico.
You got to start the day with a margarita. Or as we did the other day, we started in Mexico and we ended in Mexico. We wrapped around an extra time there.
There you go.
Wait, so it's Mexico,
Norway,
then
China, I think. Yeah. In Italy, I think.
Then Italy, I got compared right now.
In Germany, maybe, if I have it right.
I think so far.
And then
we all know the America. Well, maybe we'll get in America.
Okay. Are we going somewhere with this?
Yeah. I can't remember what was
Japan. After U.S. is Japan, then Morocco, I think.
Yeah.
and then what is it? Is it? I guess it would be France.
UK.
Yep.
And then UK, and then Canada.
Yep.
Sadly, Disney did not do anything for Canada.
Did not do anything for it.
Yeah, for harmonious.
Oh, for harmon. I don't know. I don't know if there's part in that or not. I don't remember that one.
Little thing I would throw into your list is after China, you actually have the continent of Africa. It's a very minor, little thing there. I wish it was bigger and they did more with it, but the continent of Africa is there as well.
Yeah, that concept art for that pavilion would have been really cool.
Yeah,
if they'd have done that. Oh goodness.
Well, take up more land.
Well, they have it. They have space. They've just used it for other things, I think.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, those are your 15 questions. Are you ready for?
Wait a minute, you let me know Walt and Roy one.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
First, I'll ask them both. Can I hug you guys, please?
Okay.
Nicely.
Then.
I'll ask them both, what do you think of Epcot?
Of Epcot?
Yeah, because they've been ruining Epcot when it was Bill Future and all that stuff back in the 90s.
You were, how they've changed it. What do you think of the changes in Epcot that they're doing now versus what it was when they built it?
Roy would be screaming.
Roy would be screaming?
Yeah.
Why?
He probably hated it.
Well, you don't know. Goodness gracious. It's Epcot that they built in 82 or 482 wasn't exactly the original Epcot either.
I know.
So, yeah, I think it would just purely what's their opinion of Epcot would be a cool one.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
That'd be fun.
And the history of it. That would be cool. All righty. Yes, and Mike has the list. Did we get it right? Oh, and Mike's throwing a curveball. He said he starts at International Gateway.
Oh.
Right toward the middle, I guess. Sort of. There you go.
We have the computer. We're okay.
There you go. That's a good. I didn't think about that, but there's 3 different ways, huh? I guess if you go either direction there could be 4. Oh my goodness. All right.
I have a question though before we end this.
Okay, you are running over an hour, so that's why we're trying to move it.
What do you think of the Tower of Terror?
That's another favorite, both of mine and also my wife is a huge fanatic of that too. We actually have a few pieces of merchandise here that we love from there as well that hangs out in our laundry room. Nothing really themed in there, but that's just where some of the pieces hang out with, like an old looking lamp that looks like it could come out of there. But love Tower of Terror, not only for the theming, but also just a fun ride.
There you go.
I actually know the voice actor who played the voice of Ron Darwin for the ride.
That's
Mr.
right.
Mike Silverman.
Yep, Emma interviewed Mike Silverman a while back, so that interview is on the channel too.
Yep, right? I watched that one. It was a good one.
Yeah, well, thank you. See, you watched that one.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was cool. All right, well, we are going to move on.
Yeah.
Miss Bridget saying good night, Emma. Thanks for being a guest tonight, Kevin. And Mike says, yes, you got him right. It's at the back door to Epcot, which I love, is International Gateway to Beach, Yacht Club, and Boardwalk. That's right. That's right.
Oh, the walkway. Okay.
Yes, you got it. All right, so we're going to go to, I think I have this one on. Yes, I sure do.
Yeah.
Guys, if you are here with
and
girls, let me put the comments back on so I can see. We have the giveaway for this really cool lanyard right there that Kevin provided a while back. Emma has kept one for her collection, and we have one for you. So let's go to this little thing. So what you have to do to enter, folks, is just put #ThanksKevin in the comments. Go ahead and do that now. And what will happen is you will be entered automatically, and then we'll hit the button and we'll draw a winner. So we've got, it looks like 13 people in the viewing right now, at least through YouTube, maybe some others elsewhere. So if you're out there, Mike and Bridget and let's see, who was here earlier? Carolyn,
Rachel,
Rachel, Melissa Hunt, and Patrick, and Iris, and let's see, BDF, and
Grandma and Grandpa, probably.
ABMS 375, and
You're
John.
new. Welcome.
We've got 2 entries so far. If you're out there and you want to be included, all you have to do is put hashtag thanks Kevin.
We also got to do the 15 minutes. 60 seconds.
Oh, the 60 seconds? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can do a quick countdown. We'll give you 60 seconds to put your stuff, your thanks Kevin in the comments, and we'll go from there. Okie dokie?
Yeah.
So, Kevin, one of the things you were telling us when we were talking the other day was that you're working up a themed trip for next year, I believe. And that's something, could you, when you get it ready, you want to come back and talk to us about what you're planning?
Yeah, it'll actually probably be announced over the next week. My hopes were to announce it by tonight, but been a busy week.
Yeah.
So I'm also a travel agent specialized in Disney Universal, which is actually again how we met.
Yeah.
One of my fellow agents is named Bridget, which you guys have seen her post on site, and she introduced us. And we're gonna do a group travel, down to Disney World. And just do a couple different things together. But we're putting that trip together and should be advertised between the Haunted Mansion Instagram and also my Instagram for my travel, which is Storybook Trips by Kevin. So that should be forthcoming with some details very, very soon. But I'll be happy to send you guys a note too once it comes up.
Yeah, and then as things get forward, hopefully it won't fill up. But if there's some time available, we can do that again and talk about it. I think that would be really fun. That'd be something that I know we'd be interested in doing. Anytime we can have an excuse to go, we want to. But everybody, if you haven't already, go to Instagram and follow Kevin. It's Haunted Mansion Dead and Breakfast. And you will get not only great pictures of the stuff that he does with decorations and collectibles, but also you'll hear more about the trip that's coming up.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you, earlier.
Yes, that was cool. All right, so we have, it looks like
we have
a few, but it looks like Iris, you just need to put hashtag thanks Kevin without the space.
Yeah.
If you want to do that real quick, we'll give you a second so that we'll have all the entries in, because the space is going to keep it from grabbing that.
It looks like we got somebody new. Disney time.
Disney time. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. All righty. I don't know. We have a total of 3 entries right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably time. We've done the countdown and everything. So you ready to pick?
Yeah.
All right. We'll go ahead and pick.
Mike, you are our
winner. Mike is the winner. And
Congrats,
Mike has his avatar. It looks like a Mona Lisa figment, which is pretty cool.
I got to find that.
There you go. So, Mike, if you would send us a message with where we can mail you your giveaway, your prize. Please do that either through Facebook or through Twitter or through Instagram, some way, and we will get your message and we will go from there. So I think it is probably time.
We work when we're on iPhone.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my gosh, this girl is so funny. And Mike says, thank you so much. Cool.
You're welcome, Mike.
All right, so you have to thank your guest, please.
Thank you, Mr. Carly Riley, to be on my show.
She starts that.
No, thank you guys so much for inviting me on. This was a lot of fun.
This has been a lot of fun. Thank you for taking the time, and for the advice on the tech too from the other day. We appreciate that as well. You are very knowledgeable in a lot of areas, obviously. So, all righty. Well, thank everybody else too. Tell them, how do we close out the show?
All guys, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this channel with your family and friends. Pretty please. It'll help my channel grow, be more recommended.
That's right. And until
Can that guy go? Oh, yeah, regular. Oh, that guy.
see you real soon,
Oh,
everybody.
wait a minute. We've
Hi,
got
guys.
to throw the other things that are coming up.
That's okay. We're gonna go ahead and say good night.
Okay.
So,
Night, night.
good night, everybody. We'll see you real soon.
Well,